Pride before the fall. The crystalline spires of the Galactic Council chamber pierced the purple sky of Centauri Prime, their surfaces reflecting the light of 3 suns in a dazzling display of power and permanence. Inside, Admiral Kira Yamamoto stood before the assembled representatives of 2,000 spacefaring civilizations, her dress uniform crisp despite the sweltering heat maintained for the comfort of the chamber's various species. The Grand Arbiter, a massive entity composed of swirling plasma contained within an environment suit, loomed over the proceedings from its elevated platform. The Council has reviewed Earth's military capabilities, it announced, its translated voice resonating through the chamber. We find them quaint. Yamamoto maintained her composure, though her jaw tightened slightly. Behind her, Commander Raj Patel shifted his weight, a subtle signal of support that developed over years of serving together. With respect, Grand Arbiter, Yamamoto began, Earth's fleet may not match the size of Council vessels, but we believe our technological approach offers unique advantages. Advantages, interrupted Ambassador Zixtal of the Meridian Collective, his crystalline form casting rainbow refractions across the chamber. Your largest vessel is barely the size of our scout ships. Your weapon systems are primitive at best, and your attempt at AI integration. A sound like breaking glass echoed through the chamber, Meridian laughter. Yamamoto smiled slightly, the expression not reaching her eyes. Size isn't everything, Ambassador. We've found efficiency often trumps raw power. The Grand Arbiter's plasma form swirled faster, indicating agitation. We have detected your attempts at AI development. Your integration methods are dangerous, unstable. The Council has seen the devastation of the machine wars. We cannot risk another such conflict. Our AI integration is fundamentally different, Yamamoto began, but the Grand Arbiter's form flared, cutting her off. The Council's decision is final. Earth will cease all AI development and integration programs immediately. You have 30 standard cycles to comply. Furthermore, your fleet will submit to regular inspections to ensure compliance. Yamamoto exchanged a quick glance with Commander Patel. This was exactly the response they'd anticipated, yet the reality of hearing it still sent a chill down her spine. And if we refuse? She asked, her voice steady. The Grand Arbiter's plasma form condensed to a tight bright point, a sign of absolute authority. Then Earth will be quarantined. Any vessel attempting to leave your system will be destroyed. We have already positioned our fleets accordingly. I see. Yamamoto bowed slightly. The Earth Federation will need time to discuss these terms. You have 30 cycles, the Grand Arbiter repeated. This audience is concluded. As they walked back to their ship, Commander Patel finally spoke. They really have no idea, do they? Yamamoto shook her head, a small smile playing at her lips. No, they see our small ships and think we're primitive. They see our AI integration and assume we're reckless children playing with dangerous toys. Their arrogance will be their undoing, Patel said, bringing up a secure quantum channel to Earth Command on his neural interface. Should we begin Operation Prometheus? Yamamoto looked out at the massive Council ships in orbit, each one larger than a small city. Yes, it's time to show them why we never needed to build bigger ships. She paused, watching a Council dreadnought eclipse one of the suns. We just had to build smarter ones. Their ship, the EFS Nightwing, looked tiny compared to the surrounding Council vessels. But size, as humanity had learned long ago, wasn't everything. Within its compact hull, quantum processors hummed in perfect harmony with their human operators, running combat simulations that would have seemed impossible to the Council's rigid military doctrine. The Council thought they were dealing with a primitive species that needed to be contained. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. The hidden edge. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility known only as the Forge, Admiral Yamamoto stood before a holographic display showing the positions of Council warships throughout the solar system. Their massive forms appeared as red markers, forming an ever-tightening noose around Earth's space lanes. 14 dreadnoughts, 23 cruisers, and dozens of support vessels. Lieutenant Nadia Santos reported, her neural interface casting a soft blue glow across her features. They're not even trying to be subtle anymore. Why should they? Commander Patel asked, manipulating the display to zoom in on a particular cluster of ships. As far as they're concerned, we're harmless primitives scrambling to comply with their demands. Yamamoto smiled. Show me Project Prometheus. The holographic display shifted, revealing a vast underwater chamber where dozens of Earth's compact vessels hung in specialized docks. Each ship pulsed with a subtle blue light, barely visible through their dark hull plating. Neural sync integration is at 97% across the fleet, Santos reported. The quantum matrices are stable, and the AI partnerships are developing exactly as predicted. Yamamoto approached one of the observation windows, watching as engineers worked on the closest vessel. How are the pilots adapting? Better than we hoped, a new voice answered. Dr. Viktor Petrov, the architect of the Neural Sync program, stepped out of the shadows. His weathered face bore the marks of someone who'd spent too many years staring at quantum equations. The synthesis between human intuition and AI processing power is remarkable. He gestured to a nearby testing chamber where a pilot sat in what looked like a modified acceleration couch. Neural interfaces connected to their flight suit glowed with the same subtle blue light as the ships. Would you like to see? Petrov asked. Yamamoto nodded, and the chamber's walls transformed into a high-definition simulation. A single Earth vessel faced off against a Council dreadnought. What happened next left even the veteran admiral speechless. The Earth ship moved like nothing she'd ever seen. It wasn't just evasion. The movements had an organic quality, impossible to predict or counter. Every time the dreadnought's targeting systems locked on, the smaller vessel was already somewhere else, striking from impossible angles. How? Patel whispered. We stopped trying to make AI better than humans, Petrov explained. Instead, we made them different. Complementary. The AI handles the complex calculations, prediction matrices, and multi-dimensional combat algorithms. The human pilot provides intuition, tactical creativity, and strategic insight. Together, they become something entirely new. The Council thinks AI has to be either master or slave, Santos added. They've never considered it could be a partner. Yamamoto watched as the simulation continued, the Earth vessel dancing through the dreadnought's defenses like a leaf in the wind. And we can replicate this. Already have, Petrov confirmed. Every ship in the fleet has been paired with a unique AI partner, matched to their pilots' neural patterns and tactical preferences. The quantum matrices ensure each partnership is unique, evolving, growing stronger with each interaction. The Council's ships are impressive, Santos said, bringing up technical specifications, but they're designed around brute force. Massive weapons, heavy armor, overwhelming power. They've sacrificed maneuverability for size, close-range defense for long-range supremacy. They've got blind spots you could fly a shuttle through, Patel observed, studying the schematics. Exactly, Petrov smiled. They're not ready for what we've built. Their entire military doctrine is based on overwhelming force. They've never faced an enemy that could turn their own size against them. A priority alert flashed across the holographic display. The Council's deadline was approaching, and their ships were moving into attack positions. Time estimate? Yamamoto asked. Final neural sync protocols will be complete in 12 hours, Santos reported. After that, every ship in the fleet will be fully operational with their AI partners. Yamamoto studied the tactical display, watching the Council's massive ships maneuver with ponderous grace. They were beautiful, in their way, monuments to a philosophy of warfare that was about to become obsolete. Send word to all commands, she ordered. Operation Prometheus begins in 12 hours. Until then, maintain radio silence and let them think we're paralyzed with indecision. As her officers moved to comply, Yamamoto approached one of the docked vessels. Unlike the Council's gleaming ships, Earth vessels were dark, compact, designed for efficiency rather than intimidation. Inside each one, human and AI consciousness were merging into something the galaxy had never seen before. The Council believes they're preventing another machine war, she mused. They never considered we might have found a better way. Not domination, not submission, but partnership. The vessel's quantum core pulsed in response, as if acknowledging her words. In 12 hours, the galaxy would learn just how much they had underestimated humanity's primitive approach to AI integration. The Council's mighty dreadnoughts might rule space now, but they had never faced an enemy quite like this. The silent vanguard was almost ready, and when it struck, the galaxy would never be the same. First strike. The EFS Shadowdancer hung motionless in the debris field of a long-dead mining operation near Jupiter's orbit. Inside its combat center, Lieutenant Riza Casturi felt the familiar embrace of the neural sync system engaging, his consciousness expanding to merge with both his AI partner, Dawn, and their ship. Council fleet approaching designated coordinates. Dawn's thoughts rippled through their shared consciousness. All parameters matched strategic projections. Through their neural link, Riza could feel the other 4 ships in their wolf pack, each crewed by a human pilot, merged with their own unique AI partner. Together, they formed Strike Team Aegis, one of dozens such teams hidden throughout the solar system. Show me, Reza thought, and the tactical display bloomed in their shared mindspace. The Council fleet moved with arrogant confidence, massive dreadnoughts leading the formation while smaller, though still enormous cruisers flanked them protectively. Their weapons charged, ready to enforce their ultimatum. This is High Marshal Xintol of the Galactic Council Security Force. A transmission boomed across all frequencies. Your time for compliance has expired. Prepare to be quarantined for your own protection. Through the neural network, Riza felt Admiral Yamamoto's response. Ghost Protocol is go. Show them what humanity's primitive ships can do. Riza's consciousness merged deeper with Dawn's, feeling the other pilots and their AI partners doing the same. What happened next would rewrite the rules of space combat. Strike Team Aegis. Execute attack pattern Prometheus. Riza commanded, both verbally and through the neural net. The Shadowdancer and its 4 companion ships seemed to vanish from Council sensors. Their quantum cores, synchronized with their pilots' brainwaves through the AI partners, bent space in ways the Council's rigid technology couldn't comprehend. Impossible. Someone shouted over the open channel. Where did they go? The answer came in the form of synchronized strikes from 5 different vectors. While the Council's massive ships tried to track Phantom's sensor readings, Strike Team Aegis was already inside their defensive screen, targeting their blind spots. Dawn's consciousness merged with Riza's tactical awareness, their shared perception highlighting vulnerable points the Council's arrogant designs had left exposed. Shadowdancer danced through space like a leaf in the wind, each movement guided by the perfect fusion of human intuition and AI calculation. Multiple impacts detected, one of his wingmates reported with professional calm. Their point defense systems can't track our attack profile. Through their shared neural space, Riza watched as confusion spread through the Council fleet. Their rigid command structure, so dependent on size and power, was falling apart in the face of an enemy they couldn't effectively target. Unknown energy signatures detected. A panicked Council officer broadcast. Their ships are using impossible maneuvers. Not impossible. Riza thought to Dawn, feeling her agreement. Just unexpected. More strike teams revealed themselves, emerging from carefully planned ambush points. The massive Council ships tried to turn to face these new threats, but their size worked against them. Every time they rotated to engage one group, 3 more struck from different angles. This is High Marshal Xintol. The transmission was less confident now. Cease these actions immediately. Your primitive vessels cannot hope to. His words cut off his Shadowdancer, and its pack executed a perfectly synchronized strike on his flagship's command and control systems. The massive ship's weapons went dark. Admiral, Reza reported through the secure quantum network. Phase 1 complete. The enemy fleet is in disarray. Well done, Strike Team Aegis, Yamamoto replied. Begin Phase 2. Let's show them exactly what our primitive technology can do. Through their neural link, Dawn projected tactical options into their shared consciousness. The Council fleet's formation was breaking down, their coordinated defense turning into individual ships trying to protect themselves. They still don't understand. Dawn's thoughts merged with Riza's. They think this is just advanced technology. That's their weakness, Reza replied silently. They see everything in terms of dominance and submission. They can't comprehend true partnership. Strike Team Aegis moved as one, their human pilots and AI partners working in perfect harmony. The Shadow Dancer led the formation through maneuvers that would have been impossible for either human or AI alone. But together, all teams, Admiral Yamamoto's voice rang through the quantum network. Execute Operation Prometheus Phase 2. Show them why humanity never needed to build bigger ships. As Riza and Dawn merged their consciousness even deeper, preparing for the next phase of battle, they felt a moment of genuine pity for their opponents. The Council had come expecting to find a primitive species playing with dangerous toys. Instead, they had found something unprecedented, a perfect synthesis of human and artificial intelligence, working together in ways their rigid hierarchy could never understand. The galaxy was about to learn a valuable lesson about underestimating humanity's capacity for innovation. The real battle was just beginning. Turning the tide. Admiral Yamamoto stood on the bridge of the EFS Stormbreaker, watching through the quantum-enhanced sensors as Phase 2 of Operation Prometheus unfolded. Around her, the neural network hummed with the combined consciousness of human pilots and their AI partners working in perfect synchronization. Council reinforcements emerging from hyperspace, Commander Petal reported, his neural interface pulsing with incoming data. 3 more dreadnought squadrons, accompanied by their support fleets. Yamamoto allowed herself a small smile. Right on schedule. They're reacting exactly as predicted. The new Council ships emerged like leviathans from the depths of space, their massive forms dwarfing even their own support vessels. Leading them was the legendary Stellar Dominance, flagship of the Council's Supreme Fleet Commander Thaxol himself. This is Supreme Commander Thaxol. A new voice boomed across all frequencies. Your resistance is both futile and disappointing. We offered you protection, and you respond with violence. Surrender now, and perhaps the Council will show mercy. Through the neural network, Yamamoto felt the collective determination of Earth's fleet. Each pilot, each AI partner, each seamlessly integrated ship, all were ready for what came next. This is Admiral Yamamoto of the Earth Fleet, she responded calmly. We tried to explain our position diplomatically. You chose not to listen. Now, you'll have to learn the hard way. She switched to the secure quantum network. All strike teams, execute Operation Prometheus Phase 2. Show them what true integration looks like. What happened next would be studied in military academies across the galaxy for centuries to come. Earth's ships, previously fighting in small wolf packs, suddenly shifted their entire combat doctrine. The neural network that connected them all allowed for a level of coordination that bordered on precognition. Strike Team Aegis, led by Lieutenant Castry and Dawn, merged their consciousness not just with their own ships, but with the other strike teams. The result was a fluid, organic battle formation that moved like a living entity. Where the Council expected individual ships trying to coordinate, they found themselves facing what appeared to be a single consciousness operating across multiple vessels. Impossible. Thaxol's voice cracked with disbelief. Their ships are moving in perfect synchronization. No command structure could react that fast. That's because we're not using a command structure, Yamamoto thought, though she didn't broadcast it. The neural network carried her tactical intentions to the fleet instantly, allowing them to adapt and react as one. The Council's mighty dreadnoughts found themselves caught in a dance they couldn't comprehend. Earth ships flowed around their massive weapons like water around rocks, striking from angles that should have been impossible to coordinate. Each attack fed data back through the neural network, allowing the entire fleet to learn and adapt in real time. Their defensive formations are fracturing, Paddle reported with professional satisfaction. They can't maintain cohesion against attacks they can't predict. Through the quantum sensors, Yamamoto watched as the pride of the Council fleet, the supposedly invincible stellar dominance, found itself surrounded by Earth ships moving in patterns that defied conventional military doctrine. Their massive weapons were useless against targets that seemed to know where they would fire before they did. "This is Supreme Commander Thaxul." The voice was notably less confident now. "What manner of abomination have you created? This level of coordination. It's not possible." "Not possible," Yamamoto replied, allowing herself a moment of satisfaction. "Or just beyond your understanding. You saw our ships were small and assumed we were primitive. You saw our AI integration and thought we were reckless. Not once did you consider that we might have found a better way." Through the neural network, she felt Lieutenant Castory's strike team executing a particularly elegant maneuver that left 3 Council cruisers drifting with disabled weapons. The entire sequence had required split-second timing across multiple ships, something that would have been impossible with traditional command and control. "All ships, prepare for final phase," Yamamoto commanded through the network. The response was immediate. Not just acknowledgement, but a ripple of coordinated action across the entire fleet. "Wait." Thaxul's voice held a note of desperation now. "This is beyond anything we've seen. The Council must study this technology. Perhaps we can reach an accommodation." "You had your chance for accommodation," Yamamoto responded. "You chose intimidation instead. Now you'll understand exactly why Earth never needed to build bigger ships." As her fleet moved into position for the final phase of Operation Prometheus, Yamamoto reflected on the irony of the situation. The Council had feared another machine war, had tried to prevent humanity from developing AI technology. In doing so, they had failed to recognize that humanity had moved beyond the simple dichotomy of master and slave, organic and artificial. They had created something entirely new. A true synthesis of human and machine, working in harmony rather than hierarchy. And now, the galaxy would never be the same. The final battle was about to begin. A new order. The quantum network pulsed with shared consciousness as Operation Prometheus entered its final phase. Through it, Admiral Yamamoto could feel every ship in Earth's fleet, every human pilot merge with their AI partner, all moving with singular purpose. The remnants of the Council's mighty armada hung in space before them, their massive forms now looking less like symbols of power and more like relics of an outdated philosophy. Supreme Commander Thaxul's flagship, the Stellar Dominance, drifted at the center of their formation, its weapons still dangerous, but its aura of invincibility shattered. "Admiral." Lieutenant Castory's thoughts rippled through the network from his position aboard Shadowdancer. "Strike teams report ready for final execution." Yamamoto took a moment to appreciate the elegance of what humanity had achieved. The quantum network didn't just connect their ships. It connected minds, both organic and artificial, creating something greater than the sum of its parts. "Begin final phase," she commanded, her thoughts carrying not just orders but tactical context through the network. "Show them the full capability of true partnership." Earth's fleet moved as one organism, executing maneuvers that defied conventional physics. The neural sync system allowed human intuition to merge with AI processing power, creating combat patterns that were simultaneously mathematical and artistic. By the first stars, Thaxul's voice crackled across all frequencies. "What are you?" Through the quantum sensors, Yamamoto watched as Strike Team Aegis led the final assault. Shadowdancer and its companions flowed through space like liquid mercury, their movements guided by the combined consciousness of their pilots and AI partners. They struck the Council ship's vulnerable points with surgical precision, disabling weapons and drive systems without destroying the vessels themselves. "We are humanity," Yamamoto broadcast in response. We are neither masters of machines nor their servants. We are partners, equals in a dance you never thought possible. The Council fleet's formation collapsed entirely as Earth ships struck from impossible angles, their coordinated attacks overwhelming even the most sophisticated defense systems. The massive dreadnoughts, designed for overwhelming force, found themselves helpless against an enemy they couldn't effectively target. The Council, Thaxel's voice wavered. The Council will never accept this level of AI integration. It goes against everything we believe about the natural order. The natural order. Yamamoto allowed herself a small smile. Look around you, Supreme Commander. Your natural order was built on fear. Fear of technology, fear of change, fear of what you couldn't control. We chose a different path. Through the neural network, she felt Lieutenant Castori's strike team executing their final maneuver. Shadowdancer led its pack in a spiraling attack that left the Stellar Dominance completely powerless, its massive weapons erased dark and silent. This is Admiral Yamamoto to all Council vessels, she broadcast. Your flagship is disabled. Your formation is broken. You have two choices: surrender and open genuine diplomatic dialogue, or continue fighting and lose everything. The silence that followed stretched for several long moments. Through the quantum network, Yamamoto felt her fleet's readiness, the combined consciousness of human and AI partners poised for whatever came next. Finally, Thaxel's voice returned, heavy with the weight of revelation. The Council was wrong about you, about your technology, about everything. Yes, Yamamoto agreed simply. You were. I hereby surrender my fleet, Thaxel declared. And I formally request to learn more about your integration protocols. The galaxy must understand what you've achieved here. Yamamoto felt the ripple of satisfaction through the neural network. Not triumph or arrogance, but the quiet pride of those who had proven their worth. Lieutenant Castori, she commanded through the network, escort the Supreme Commander's shuttle to Stormbreaker. It's time for a proper demonstration of what partnership between human and AI truly means. As she watched the Council ships power down their weapons, Yamamoto reflected on the magnitude of what they had achieved. They had not just won a battle, they had shattered paradigms that had dominated galactic civilization for millennia. The Council had feared another machine war, had tried to prevent what they saw as dangerous AI development. Instead, they had witnessed the birth of something entirely new, a perfect synthesis of human and artificial intelligence working together in harmony. Through the quantum network, she felt the combined consciousness of her fleet, humans and AIs, pilots and partners, all part of something greater than themselves. They had shown the galaxy a new way forward, one based not on dominance or submission, but on true partnership. The stars seemed brighter somehow, as if reflecting the dawn of a new era in galactic history. The Council's mighty dreadnoughts would no longer rule space unopposed. A new power had emerged, one that valued cooperation over conquest, innovation over intimidation. The galaxy would never be the same, and that, Yamamoto thought with quiet satisfaction, was exactly what humanity had intended all along.